Hello, and welcome to the Olympic Climate Report in collaboration with Olympic Climate Action, bringing inspiration, information, and calls to action from the beautiful Olympic Peninsula to the great Pacific Northwest. I'm your host, Doug Taylor. I'm so glad you joined me today. Before I get on with my main feature, I'd like to share something with you I saw this morning in the Washington Post. It's 12/22, December 22nd. See if you can find this article. Stimulus deal takes strong action against climate change by Sarah Kaplan and Dino Grandoni. In this article, they discuss that funding is being set aside in this COVID relief package, the $900 billion package, to address climate change and to take climate action on hydrofluorocarbons in refrigeration, development and research into solar power, wind power, and energy storage, and research into carbon sequestration efforts. These moves are being taken even before the administration changes hands. And it's only one of the reasons I say 2021 is a new beginning in climate action. Get on board. Now, I'd like to move on to our main feature for the day. You may have heard that Joe Biden announced over the weekend his entire climate action team. His nominees were introduced in one swell foop, sitting around a table. Each one got up, introduced themselves, shared a little about their own background, and talked about their commitment to climate change action. We've put together a little clip roll, which I'd like to show, and when we get back after that, I'd like to discuss these three questions with you. Did their presentation show consistency of messaging? Are these people working from the same playbook and speaking with one voice as a team? Are these people who have a clear understanding of the climate crisis, and are they people who know what the current status is in terms of actions available to us, measures that can be taken, legislation that can make a difference in climate action? And the third question is, do these people show the kind of commitment of the heart to climate action that we know is necessary to meet this existential threat to the very existence of human culture and society, and potentially life on our planet? Let's move on to our clip roll, and when we come back on the other side, we'll say a few words about those questions. So, after this brief transition,
it's not going to be easy, but it's absolutely necessary. And we are committed to facing climate change by delivering environmental justice. These aren't pie in the sky dreams. These are concrete, actionable solutions. And the team's going to get it done. For the Secretary of Interior, I nominate Congresswoman Deb Haaland. She's the Pueblo people, only 35 generations in New Mexico.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm proud to stand here on the ancestral homelands of the Lenape tribal nation. The President-elect and Vice President-elect are committed to a diverse cabinet, and I'm honored and humbled to accept their nomination for Secretary of the Interior. Growing up in my mother's Pueblo household made me fierce. My life has not been easy. I struggled with homelessness. I relied on food stamps and raised my child as a single mom. These struggles give me perspectives, though, so that I can help people to succeed. My grandparents, who were taken away from their families as children and sent to boarding school in an effort to destroy their traditions and identities, maintained our culture. This moment is profound when we consider the fact that a former Secretary of the Interior once proclaimed his goal to, quote, civilize or exterminate us. I'm a living testament to the failure of that horrific ideology.
For Secretary of Energy, I nominate Governor Jennifer Granholm. First woman, where's Jennifer? Back there. She's a great friend as well. First woman to ever serve as governor of Michigan. In 2009, she faced the collapse of the defining industry of her state and our nation. But I saw firsthand how she responded. She bet on the auto workers. She bet on the promise of a clean energy future.
Over the next 2 decades, countries and companies are going to invest trillions, not just billions, trillions, in electric cars and batteries and wind turbines and solar panels and energy-efficient appliances and energy-efficient buildings. They're going to upgrade their electric grids using smart technology. Millions of good-paying jobs are going to be created, millions.
And to chair the Council on Environmental Quality, I nominate Brenda Malloy, an accomplished public servant, brilliant environmental lawyer, daughter of a working-class family who has dedicated her life to solving the most complex environmental challenges facing America.
It is essential that we deploy smart and humane policy to help communities pull themselves back from the edge and improve the health, security, and prosperity of all people. The Build Back Better plan is poised to breathe new life into the Council on Environmental Quality.
And she's thinking, my God, what's he going to do as president? But and to serve as our National Climate Advisor, I appoint Ali Zaidi, excuse me. And Ali, you can call me Bidden. If I mispronounced your last name, I apologize.
Mr. President-elect and Madam Vice President-elect, you campaigned on delivering that promise by mounting a response equal to the existential threat that we face, not only by listening to the science, but also by invigorating the economy, revving up manufacturing and innovation, spurring good-paying union jobs, and advancing justice long overdue.
I've always been curious about the connections between our environment and our health, how the world around us contributes to or detracts from our enjoyment of life. So after completing my education in environmental science, there was one place in particular that I wanted to work, the EPA. When I started that first summer internship, I never imagined that one day I would be nominated to lead an agency as its administrator.
So I figured out early that there was just an intrinsic connection between our environment and our health. And that understanding drew me into a very long career of public service, which I will never regret and always cherish. And I did it because I was trying to help families and communities just like mine, and those who are facing certainly much steeper and more insidious legacies of environmental harm, so they could overcome the challenges that were holding them back. Environmental protection is part of my moral fiber. It's what I live for. And I'm proud of the progress that we've made across the United States, and I'm proud of the work that I did for many years at local and state governments, as well as at EPA, to make sure our air and water were cleaner, to make communities safer and more livable, and begin to confront the crisis of climate change.
Well, here you have it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my friends on the climate action front. This is the Joseph Robinette Biden administration's climate action team. I was impressed. Were you? I'd like to hear from you. There's a comment section below here. If you can't reach it, it's because you don't have a Google account open. We can talk about that later. To get into a YouTube channel and to be part of it, you need the Google portal. It's another issue. We'll talk about it later. Right now, my question goes to this. On those three issues, consistency of messaging, did you get the feeling that this is a consistent team, this is a coherent team, that each of them is delivering the message in concert with the others? Is there one voice speaking? I think the answer there is yes. Did you see any flies in that ointment? Let us know. Do these folks seem to have a comprehensive understanding of the climate emergency and what we have to do in order to avoid destruction and damage to our environment, to our planet? I think they have that understanding through years of work in the actual fields of environmental care and climate concern. I think this is a team that has a full understanding of what we need to do going forward. And as for commitment, each one of these people has expressed their heartfelt commitment to addressing this problem and moving America forward into what we hope and pray will be a greener, brighter, and more prosperous future. When we see these folks getting up in front of a camera and saying, we need the American people to put pressure here, we need you to send an email, we need you to make some phone calls, we need you to give input at these hearings or on this legislation. We need to listen to them, we need to hearken, and we need to be there to back their play. And if we all do that together, if we are one great team, speaking each in our own words to one great end, we can change the world, all of us together. That's all I have to offer just now. So let's move on. We'll see you soon at the Olympic Climate Report.